Hello, my name is Richard. I'm a cosplayer, and as you can see, I cosplay, or this cosplay is Henry Walton Jones Sr., Indiana Jones' dad from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, played by the late, great Sean Connery. Now, I did a first video where I discussed the suit, the shirt, the bow tie, and the shoes. And the second video went into, I think, the pen. He wears a pen here, the pocket watch, and some of the other things. Now, this video is going to be about the umbrella, the suitcase, the Grail Diary, and the Grail itself. And there's not quite as much to discuss here, so this video should be a bit shorter. Now, the umbrella, vintage umbrellas are very expensive. I looked at some of those, and what I ended up using, because I tend to be practical and sometimes kind of a penny pincher, and I'm going to be around a Comic-Con, things are going to get beat up, and I want a functional umbrella because as you might imagine, when I'm out doing this character, people will, and I have the umbrella in my hand, people will say, "Oh, do the thing, do the umbrella thing," and so forth. So it has to be a working, functional umbrella. So this is just a $20 totes umbrella I got at Macy's, and it's got the correct handle, it's got the correct end. Now, on the film, it looks like the wood tip here is a little bit more blonde wood than the cane handle itself. The problem is, of course, it has a push button mechanism. The original wouldn't have like that. And also, the shaft is wood or imitation wood. And in the film, the shaft is nickel, is metal. I guess chrome nowadays. And the strap had Velcro on it when it came, which is obviously anachronistic, so I put on a snap, a press button. I'm not sure if they had those at that time. Anyway, it's a useful prop. Now about the suitcase. I don't know why, but so many people who cosplay this character carry things other than suitcases. I've seen people carry doctor's bags. I've seen people carry lawyer's bags, lawyer's briefcases, and all these things. In the film, it's actually a suitcase. And I think there's some scenes where he has this umbrella strapped to the top of the suitcase, and figuring that the umbrella is probably a fairly standard size, I can kind of calculate the size of the suitcase, because I saw a vintage ad for suitcases just like he has. It's an ad, I think, from the 1920s or 1930s, and they came in 3 different sizes, and one of the sizes is, I think, the size he had, which is about 20 inches wide by 12 inches high. And it's black. I know a lot of cosplayers use brown ones, but in the film it's black. And it's a shiny black. And this is the one I use. It's not screen accurate, it's close. For one thing, a lot of these old suitcases come in this kind of pebble surface rather than, it's hard to find smooth ones. And so I found this one. And a lot of them have a short strap. The strap is stitched and it just goes over the top, where his strap goes all the way around. So that's the only thing I could find, is the one with the short straps. So I bought one of those, I removed the straps. I put on these tabs. The original one, it should be stitched on. I used rivets. And these are just belts, like waist belts, were matching texture that I put around. So what you have, it's a little big, and it's heavy. Empty, this is a heavy thing to lug around a Comic-Con all day. So I tend to not, I put it together and I tend to not ever carry it just because it's a beast to carry all day. Now we get into something complicated, and that's the Grail Diary. So it's the diary, and the elastic comes off, and there's scene where you can really see it. There's this blue ticket, and it's that page, and the ticket is Los Angeles Railway Company University Transfer. Now that's cool. And that's the page where Dr. Jones and Junior are in the airport terminal at the table talking, and he talks about the different challenges. So that's on there. And this diary, well, I better not forget where that page is. I better put the ticket back. This diary is not too bad. It's an actual leather cover. It's got all the pages. It's got illustrations. The main thing that's disappointing about this diary is not the diary itself, it's the inserts. A lot of the inserts, the old tickets, the old, there's a dollar bill, I think there's a French franc in there, there's some currency anyway stuck in, some letters. The inserts are not very good quality. I got this from somebody in Florida and it was only $100. It's too big, the actual diary is smaller, and why they made it this size, I don't know. But it's inexpensive and it pretty much does the job, but it is not screen accurate. Now for that, I don't own any of these, but the people who make the Grail Diaries, very accurate ones that I hear recommended over and over again, are a guy in Italy named Marcella Pasquale, and his firm is called Sarednab, Sarednab. Another one people often recommend is Indy Magnoli. Another one is Ramsey Props, a guy named Mark Ramsey. Another one is a seller called Red Rommel, like Erwin Rommel. And I think that's her name. I think the person's name is Nina Farmer. Those always get praise when I see online reviews. There's one that I saw get bad reviews, and that's FP Replica. Now, the thing to know about the diary is that there's different versions. They made about 11 original props for the film, and they're said to all be different, have the pages in different order a bit and so forth. Now, there were 90 unique pages that were made for the props, and these were replicated to make the hero prop was said to have 282 pages. So that those original 90 pages were replicated. I think there's some blank pages in there too, and so forth, because you're not going to, in the movie, you're just going to see a page or two at a time. It doesn't matter. But because it makes an odd, repetitive thing to look through, a lot of people have come up, so that's what you call the hero version, is like the film, with these replicated duplicate pages and blank pages and so forth to fill out the bulk of it. What's very popular, though, are story versions, and there's are sometimes called professor's journal versions. And these were, I think, made by fans and things, where it kind of reads more like a diary, a chronological thing that's more either like the diary that Dr. Jones would keep, or a journal he would keep. Not really like a daily, like this is what I did today type diary, but more of a professor's journal. And that's how this one is. The things are more in a sequence. Now, the original text was taken from a book, I think, written in 1981. It was, I think it was called The Quest for the Grail. So a lot of the text comes out of that. I mean, they didn't create all new text for this thing. So anyway, that is about the Grail Diary. You can read online. There's lots of sites that do analysis of it. Now, as far as the Grail itself, most of the good ones are going to be $250 to, I think, $400 or $500. They're really well-made ones with excellent high-quality inserts, and that's not what mine is. Now, as far as the Grail itself, these are available very inexpensively. This was 3D printed for me by a friend. I painted it myself. There's basically three things of paint. There's kind of a terracotta reddish brown. There's a gold, I think the original was actually gold leaf. I just used gold paint. And then there's kind of some gray bits put on that's supposed to be representing, I guess, dust or something. So it's a three-step paint job. Now the problem is I wanted to have something I could actually drink out of, and you can't drink out of paint, right? So there's a thing called Alumilite Amazing Clear Cast that's food safe. It's said to be food safe. And so if you notice the inside's very glossy, what I did is I coated the inside with this Alumilite clear cast. And not only the inside, but also a little place to drink along the back of the rim. So I haven't used it yet, but my idea is to have water in this or something that at a Comic-Con I can drink out of it. You have a functional prop. It's very lightweight because it's 3D printed. And that will do it, I think, for the final video.